Just testing that I'm live. Just testing that I'm live. Hello, Trace. Hi there. Hi, Trace. Hope you're well. Hi, Kim. Good evening. Hello there. I hope you're well. Welcome. Welcome to our live. Sound and picture perfect. Thanks for that, Heidi. Thank you so much. Hi, Kim. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Hi, Anne. I can't believe we're on the 1st of December. Hi, Yvonne. Hello there. Good evening. I'm just going to give a few moments for everybody to join. Hello, Jane. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Nanny Chris. Hi, Helen. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Fee. Hello, Fiona. Evening, Jean. Good evening. Hi, Lynn. Warm welcome. Hello, Katrina. I hope everybody's well. I'm just going to give a few moments for everybody to find the live, because sometimes it does take a few moments. Hello, Sally. Hello, Steph. Good evening, Nicola. Hello, lovely. Hi, Chris. Scurrying around, ready to sit and chill. Hi, Beth. Hello there. Good evening, Mimi. Hi, Leslie. Hello there. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Teresa. And I've got my lovely little gift from Diane, which is perfect timing, so I can torture you all. I can torture you all now. Hey up, kid. Hi, Jane. Hi, Marie. Hello there. Everybody seems fine, Sally. Hello, Emma. Hi, Jules. Good evening. Hi, Pat. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's well. So if you're crafting along, then you need a piece of 4x6 card, and you need a 5x7 card blank, and you need a piece of white card 4¼ by 6¼ That's if you're crafting along. I know, look at my little box of fun. Diane sent it me, and it's 60 Christmas trivia questions and jokes, and it arrived today. Perfect timing, and I'm so chuffed. I'm so chuffed. And Trace says hi to everybody. Bless. I love how you say hi to everybody. That's lovely. And I am going to torture you now with my little box of fun. You do realise that my live, I waffle for England, so you know what to expect. Hello, Susan. Hello there. So I'm going to torture you with the first trivia. But if you're joining along, you can then get your pieces of card ready while I do a trivia. And I'm going to be using stamp set TE18. So I'm going to be using TE18. Hello, Marguerite. Hello there. TE18, and I'm probably going to use the pheasants from TE32. So that's what I'm going to use. Hello, Beth. Happy Monday. I feel like I was about to burst into songs then. So thank you all for joining Amanda at 4 o'clock, and thank you everyone for your response to Anne Young's post this morning. They both did beautiful projects. Now, the idea of the 12 inspirational days of December is simply to inspire you and to have a little bit of fun, and also my chance to give something back. So I will draw a random winner before I finish the live. I'll literally just scour up I'll close my eyes, scour up the comments, and just press my finger on one comment, and the randomly drawn winner will win £20 to spend in the online shop. So I will do that tonight. And also, if there's anything you want from the shop, there is a code Tracy10, and that will give you 10% off your basket until the 12th of December. So it's all about having a little bit of fun. Now, we've also got other things to look forward to in the week, more giveaways, more prizes, and also Heidi will be live on YouTube on Sunday the 7th of December. She will also have another video that morning, and Heidi also has a live this Wednesday. Not a live, a video. Heidi has a video on her YouTube channel on Wednesday. Also, the lovely Nicola Moss has some posts on Tuesday and Thursdays, and the rest of my design team will have posts during both weeks until the 12th of December. I love having a bit of fun before Christmas, and also I know that after the 12th of December we'll all be running around like headless chickens trying to get everything wrapped and goodness knows what else. So I thought we'll make it a little bit of fun for 12 days. Why not? So I've got to use my little box. You're very welcome. It's the least I can do. The least I can do. So I've got my little box of trivia. Now, I can't show you the answers, can I? Or else that spoils it. So I'm going to take out the first one. Do you know, I'm so chuffed with this that Diane's got me. Oh, I like to keep myself busy, Marie. You're very welcome, Trace and Susan. So your first bit of trivia, I've got no sound, never mind, we'll follow visually till sorted. If you go out, Jane, refresh your screen and come back in again, you might have sound then. So what's the first trivia? The trouble with me is I go to show you the answer. Okay, so the question is, which Christmas film features the line, you stink, you smell like beef and cheese, you don't smell like Santa. Here we go. Okay, so this is the bit of trivia. So this is a film. Which Christmas film features the line, you stink, you smell like beef and cheese, you don't smell like Santa? Which film is it? Oh, bless you, Chris. You're very welcome. Come on, you've got to answer me trivia now. No idea. So it's a Christmas movie, because obviously it's Christmas. So which Christmas film features the line, you stink, you smell like beef and cheese, you don't smell like Santa? The Grinch? No. No. I love these. I'll just give a few. You go, no idea. No idea. What are you like? I knew this one. It's not the Grinch. No. It's Elf. Yes, Marie, Elf. Marie got it right. Marie got it right. So it's just, I love it. So you got it right, Marie. Marie, if you message me, you can pick a free stamp set of your choice. What the heck? Why not? So you message me after the live, Marie, and you can pick a free stamp set of your choice. It was Elf. Elf. Okay. Are you ready for the joke now? This is the joke. I'm so pleased that Diane sent me this. Why do reindeer wear fur coats? It was Elf. It's Elf. Why do reindeer wear fur coats? You do realise these small things make me laugh. It was Elf. I thought it was Bad Santa initially, Trace. It's Elf. Okay, so why do reindeer wear fur coats? Because they'd look silly in plastic masks. Bum. Don't ask. So that one goes to the back now until I ask the next one. I'm sorry, but I find great humour from stupid things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do find things, no idea, to keep warm. No, I've given the answer now. I've given the answer now. Did you hear the answer? Because they'd look silly in plastic masks. That's it. I'm sorry. Right, I'm going to make a card now before I have to go home. I do like silly things like that. Look at Leslie's thing. It's going to get worse through the 12 days, trust me. It really is. Oh dear. It makes me smile. So I've got my piece of acetate from the other day. So I've got this acetate and I've just literally cut out a squiggly line. It makes no sense. It's the worst squiggly line ever. But it's out of a piece of acetate, so it means I can use it over and over. My grandson had us in fits last Christmas saying Santa smelt like beef and cheese. Bless. Beef and cheese. Your Ian is going to so love this box of Tris on Christmas Day. I do, because I repeat them all. I love them. Oh, Diane, I love them. Diane's here. I've just read the first one. I'm loving them already. So I've got a piece of 4x. You can tell my lives are going to last 20 times longer than anybody else's. Because I'm hopeless. So I've got my 4x6 piece of card. I would never have guessed Alf. Never watched it though. So, oh, it's a brilliant film, Alf is. I love Alf. So I'm going to place this onto my 4x6 piece of card. And I'm just going to hold that down just with a piece of low tack tape, just so that it doesn't move. I love a good laugh. I am very childlike. I just thought I'd let you know that. I am very childlike. I can't help myself. So I'm not very mature. So all the silly jokes and trivia tickle me. I've been reading all your Christmas cracker jokes. Oh, I've had tears streaming down my face. It doesn't take much, honestly. So I've masked it. I've just got the acetate at the bottom-ish of the card. So there's that much at the bottom of the card. Never watched Alf, to be honest. Don't like the main actor. Oh, it's brilliant, Trace. It's still a good film. So I do apologise for all the scratches all over my body. It's because I've been gardening. And what I'm going... Oh, I haven't got the ink pads out. That's your fault for making me laugh. I didn't get the ink pads out. So I need... oh, bear with me. I had a light bulb moment with my joke. What light bulb moment? I love the jokes. So I'm using Salty Ocean. So we're going to have Salty Ocean. And I'm going to use a little bit of Prize ribbon. I love cracker jokes. Ian thinks I'm absolutely demented, but I don't care. I love them. I giggle to myself for ages. So I'm going to use Salty Ocean ink. And I'm going to take what's faster than Santa's sleigh on Christmas Eve, a Tracy Evans parcel. Bless. I am. Tracy is over there and lost the plot area. I am. So I'm going to use this round bauble here. And what I'm going to do, I've got the acetate here. I'm hoping you can see the acetate. So yes, I've been gardening, Trace, and I'm covered in thorn scratches. Oh, you're having solar panels installed tomorrow. Woohoo! So I'm going to take the Salty Ocean and I'm going to ink my stamp. So I'm taking the stamp and I'm just inking it with Salty Ocean. And I'm just going to blend that ink slightly, just with a blending tool. So I'm just blending the ink with a blending tool, just so that it's all smooth. So I'm just blending the ink. So I've now got the oxide ink on there. I ordered yesterday and had no notification that you had shipped already. Yes, Trace, I've already shipped. Do you know, when people say that, I'm like, and I did ship. Yes, I've definitely shipped. I wonder why you had no notification. Weird. So I've got the Distress Oxide on here, and I'm just going to add the stamped image, sort of stamping on part of the acetate. So I'm just stamping on part of the acetate. So let's just allow this just to absorb onto the card. So you can see that I've stamped the bauble onto the card and just over my acetate. No, I had notification. Oh, sorry. And had notification. Sorry, Trace. I'm hopeless at reading properly. How much roughly are the solar panels being quoted over 10k with Octopus Energy? Ouch, ouch. So I'm going to wipe the Distress Oxide ink just off here. And you can see that I've got some of the bauble on here. Royal Mail having problems, I think. Ah. So I'm using it sideways. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take a little bit of the same ink. No problem, Amanda. You've had a lot on today. You don't have to join all the lines. It's not a problem at all. So I'm picking up the Salty Ocean Distress Oxide ink. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend the same colour just over the acetate. And this is why I made, and this isn't acetate, this is made from packaging. So I think it was made from an old stamp set packaging. So I've made this little template from packaging. And everybody says hello, Amanda. So you can see I've left the bauble in place. Now I want it a little bit darker. So I'm going to take prize ribbon. So I'm going to take a little bit of prize ribbon. And I'm using a smaller brush. I'm very well, Kay. How are you? Good evening. So I'm going to use the prize ribbon now. And with the prize ribbon, I'm just going to sort of sweep the ink so it's a little bit darker. And you can definitely see that. So I'm just sweeping that across the card, across that acetate. So I'm just sweeping that across the acetate because I want it to be quite dark. So it doesn't matter that I've got all this ink on here because I'm simply sweeping that ink across the card. So it doesn't matter that I've got all that ink on there. I want it a little bit darker. So I'm going to come in a little bit darker, just a little bit darker. So it's nice and dark. So we're using that prize ribbon to make that beautifully dark. So I'm going to remove my low tack tape, she says. Let's remove the low tack tape and you can save that if you want to use that again. Let's take, there we go. So I've got this as a template now. Roughly 10k, but no upfront payment, just a monthly fee. And monthly we get money back. Oh, wow. So you can see I've got my placement of my bauble on there. And now I want to create a few more little areas for perches for my pheasants. So what I'm going to do, I've got this ink on here and I've got plenty of ink on my blending brush. So I'm just going to swipe that ink very lightly just over the card. So I'm just using the ink that's on there just to give me a few little areas where I can place a couple of pheasants. I feel a penguin appearing. You could have the penguins. I'm going to have the pheasants this time. But I'm just adding a few sort of areas just to give little perches. So then I've got little perches. The penguins would be perfect as well. But now you've got this acetate and that means that you can keep using that if you wish. So I'll decide if I want to use more of that later. So that I don't use it or place it anywhere, I'm just going to wipe over the acetate. Now, because you've got that acetate to use over and over again, it means you can stick it with your little templates. And it's only a piece of recycled packaging. In fact, it's torn. So the actual packaging is torn, but I've still used it. So I'm just wiping that in case I pick it up and then it's dirty. So I'm going to put that in a little tray so that I don't forget where it is. My acetate came wrapped around a cake. Perfect, absolutely perfect. We're doing a little bit of recycling. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and grab a paintbrush, which I should have here somewhere because I have been making sure I did have my paintbrushes out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little bit of water. I started decorating my Christmas tree. Do you know how many baubles I got on before the phone rang? 2. There's still only 2 baubles on the Christmas tree. Eat the cake quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of water just to remove a little bit of the colour in the centre. My acetate is a spare plastic cover from my Prerecord mat. That's perfect. It just means we've got a little bit of recycling and we've created our own template. Pheasants love raisins. There we go. So I've just got a little bit of a white patch. You can continue to add a little bit more water if you wish, and you can just leave that water on there. Helen, he loves his Weetabix. Oh, Weetabix. So I'm just going to leave that moisture on there for a little while, just so that it continues to work. He's a chunky lad. Oh, bless. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab my sentiment, just so I can get the placement of everything in the right place. So I'm continuing to use TE18 and I'm going to use Celebrate the Season. Decorated one of my trees tonight with the grandkids. She's 6 and 2. Oh, bless them. I bet they were so excited. It's so lovely when they're young. And Anne's grandson has been getting excited all over the Christmas build-up. So I'm going to take the sentiment, and now I've let that just rest a little bit. So I've removed a little bit more ink. So I'm going to take... They link the best low-tack tape, please. I use this one. I know there's lots of different kinds. I use this one. Oh, I can't get it out, mainly because it's not too expensive and it's never torn my paper. So I use the Scotch removable. We all have different ones that we use, so recommend away. We had a pheasant family in the garden the other day, watching over the... Oh, bless. I love pheasants. So I'm going to use Celebrate the Season, and I'm going to use Twilight ink. Now, I'm not standing anything on the bauble on this one, but you could quite easily stand a little bird on here as well. A bit of a Grinch myself. So you could stand a little bird or something on your bauble. And obviously we need to add more depth to this. So I'm using the stamp set Celebrate the Season, and I'm using Twilight ink. So let's use the Twilight ink, and I'm going to add the sentiment around about there for placement, just by eye. When I was working, everyone knew not to decorate my desk. Bar humbug. Bar humbug. So I've used Twilight ink to add Celebrate the Season. 14 pheasants at one time is the most we've had, counted in my mum and dad's garden. Wow, Jackie. Wow. So I've got Celebrate the Season. I do my tree at the end of November. Good for you, Sally. I do mine today, but at the moment it's got 2 baubles on. Ian said, that looks a bit pathetic, as if I was going to leave it like that. I'm not going to leave it like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the smaller baubles. It's a good job you can take a joke, Trace. Going to use the smaller bauble. And again, I'm going to take the small one, and I'm going to use Salty Ocean. And I love using the little ink pads for these. So I'm going to use the Salty Ocean just to add ink to my bauble. And again, if you've got the lines like that, you get the lines, just dab that out with your blending brush. Just dab it out with the blending brush. And if you don't want to remove the white, there, just take it off your stamp before you even stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one bauble around about there, like so. So I've now automatically left a little bit of a white area. I'm going to ink this up again, just with the Salty Ocean. And you can see I'm not creating anything complicated. You're not going to waffle like I am. So it's a nice simple card to do. My grandson, 13, adores it. Loves all his teddy and oh bless. Has every Kevin Carrot made. I love the Kevin Carrot advert at the moment. Getting married. So I'm just going to blend. So the blending just softens the edge. Just means it's not quite so harsh. So if you don't want to do this bit, no tree this year again, no room. Hubby decided to try and walk on air. So I'm just dabbing a bit of that ink away so that when we colour, we've automatically got a white area. Shall we bring this one? Just up, hang on a minute, up a little bit there. I'm talking to the card. Thanks, Trace. So we need to add some depth, don't we? We don't want to just leave it like that. We need to add a little bit of depth. And you could have bought the bauble a little bit lower down if you wished. So let's remove this. I now want to add some depth to those baubles. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp my pheasants. So we'll see it come to life when we add some pencil work. So I'm going to take the pheasants from TE32. And as you can see, they're well used because one's already fallen off. When that happens, just give the back of your stamp a little bit of a clean. And you may as well do it before you start inking because it's only going to fall off onto your work. I love Christmas, I must admit. I don't have a huge Christmas tree like I used to. It used to take over the house. Hello, Alison. Hello there. So I'm now going to take the pheasant. Let's ink the pheasant with black ink. I use the letters a lot. This stamp set is very popular, Sally, this one. So I'm inking the pheasant. Now make sure that pheasant isn't going to come off. And then at the moment, we'll sit this pheasant here, just in that dip a little bit. So we'll sit this pheasant here, just in the dip. And can you see, even though I'm working on a porous surface, I'm still allowing that ink to have time to absorb onto the surface of the card. I'm now going to use the other pheasant, and it gives it sort of a little bit of perspective by adding the pheasants. Rachel and everybody saying hi to Alison, warm welcome. So I'm now inking up the other pheasant, and again, making sure it's not going to fall off. I slipped down the stairs 5 weeks ago. Ouch, Yvonne, that's not pleasant. I did it a couple of years back. Not pleasant at all. And I'm going to add the other pheasant here. So I'm just giving that time for the ink to absorb onto the surface of the card. And you can see I've now sort of got my composition all set there. So we can move this stamp set out of the way. And now we can bring it to life a little bit. And what I'm going to do, Tracy did that a few years ago, exactly, Diane, and it was painful. It knocked me sick. Not the best thing to do. Hope you feel better soon, Yvonne. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this, the black ink, a little bit of a waft, what do you call it? Whatever it is. There we go. So I'm just giving that a little waft dry. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Thank you, Amber, thank you. I'd love seeing your projects, Amber. They've been lovely. You've been on a roll. So what I'm going to do now is find the acetate that I put back in its rightful place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the prize ribbon to get someone to get the decks out of the attic. Yes, Ruth, I had to get my hubby to do that. So I'm going to just place the acetate back around about-ish, doesn't matter. And I'm going to take a little bit more of the prize ribbon, the name that I can't remember for the life of me. And I'm just going to add a little bit more of the darker blue. Typos, oops. Oh, me and Anne are the worst for typos. So I'm just adding a little bit more darkness to this now. Now, where were you? Now I have to find the right place. Was it there? There will do. So I'm just adding a little bit more darkness just to the pheasant. Just so that he's a little bit more grounded. And we're going to give him a little bit more snow. I live on my own. Well, I hope you can get them easily. My hubby won't let me up in the loft. I'm not steady on my feet. So he thinks I will end up coming through the roof. Not a good idea then, Trace. Not a good idea. So we'll just remove that. Place this back again. Now what we want to do is we want to bring some life now. We'll add some snow to these and some tinsel effects as well. Now I'm going to take a little piece of copier paper so that I don't lean on the black ink. And I'm going to take some pencils. Thank you, Yvonne. So I've got my dark, medium and light. So I'm going to use indigo blue, which is 901. My GP came through the bedroom ceiling. His, not mine. I hope it's not yours, Diane. So I'm using indigo blue 901, china blue 1100 and cloud blue 1023. So those are the colours I'm using. Not recommended to do it twice, no. So what I'm going to do is just keep a piece of copier paper here, and it just means then I can take this dark colour and just add some of the dark colour to the bauble. Now, I was going to ask when he was what he was doing in your loft. Yes, I was going to ask what he was doing in Diane's loft as well. So what I'm doing is I'm adding some of the dark colour. And what I'm hoping you will see is, if I do the large bauble first, I'm hoping you'll see the difference compared to the smaller baubles. So I'm just going to come in and just apply that indigo. Like so. And we'll add a little bit of dark around here as well, just so that it stands out a little bit more. So we'll add a little bit of dark here as well, just around the edge. So we're using that dark colour, and I'm just applying that quite lightly just to add some of that colour. Hi Leslie. Feel your pain. I have scoliosis. I have no idea what scoliosis. I am hopeless at pronunciations. So I'm then going to come to china blue. So let's add the china blue. I'm going to add that china blue, coming into that darker colour. And we'll obviously add some touches of white, but I want to do the one bauble first to see if you can actually see how it starts to come to life. Yes, I think that's the problem, Jane, because that's the problem I was having. When I first started colouring, honestly, I was sitting there and thinking, what's all the fuss about? I can't get these to work. And it dawned on me after many months of practising that I was pressing too hard. I was pressing too hard too soon, and therefore I couldn't lay down enough pigment because I was pressing on so hard. So if you press really lightly initially, then you can lay down more of that pigment. Yes, Amber's projects were lovely. That's why I love being creative. I love seeing everybody's projects. It does make it pop a little bit more, doesn't it, Trace? I think it does. So I'm going to come in. Now, if you watch any true colourists, you need to see how fine they add their layers. They go in gently, gently, gently. And you'll often see them, if they're colouring animals, they use the gentlest of strokes. So it is all about adding fine, gentle layers. And if you whisper to yourself like I do, it makes you put the layers down even more gently. Not, but I do it anyway. But it does make it pop a little bit more. So just be patient with yourself. And when I'm doing a live, it's so easy to want to rush, because you're doing a live and you don't want to keep people waiting too long. But that's why I wanted to do the 12 days of inspiration. And it's wonderful because I don't work for a company, so I can take as long as I wish. I don't have to have anybody saying to me, you're taking too long. So it's wonderful. Softly, softly, catch the monkey. Exactly. Same with pencils. And then I'm using my pale colour. The one thing you need to remember is, you can see here I'm going with blues, but say I was trying to blend sort of really colours that were sort of not following quite as easily. You might need more softer blending. You have to blend more gently when your colours are not sort of next to each other. You know, when I'm in one colour family, it's not quite so detrimental. But if you're in sort of different colour families, you need to be a little bit more patient. A little bit more patient with your colouring. I'm also a great believer in giving it a little bit of time to rest. Don't go in too hard too soon. Like, I will blend a little bit more with some white pencil, but I do like to just sort of give it a little bit of time just to rest. I think that helps as well. I have pencils on my Christmas list for Santa. I have been a good girl. I think they're one of the best presents you can have. I love them. I love pencils. And because it's a considered purchase, I think if it's, if family members are clubbing together, I think it's a really good idea. So I'm adding the same colours to these baubles here. And you can see I've already got that white space. So that really helps me. So I'm not going to fill in all that white space. I have got 2 sets of 12 and think I will get another set now. Exactly. That's another way you can do it. Build up your sets or buy singles. Obviously, it's slightly more expensive buying them singly, but it's kind of to the pocket in one go. But I can't recommend them enough. They're just wonderful. Whilst waiting for Santa to bring me new ones. Yay, Chris! So I'm coming in now gently again with my mid colour. And I'm going in a circular motion. And what I'm doing is I'm coming in to that dark colour. So I'm coming into that dark colour with my light colour. But can you see I'm not covering all the white? Prismas are my favourite as well, and Polychromos are a lovely quality pencil as well. But I'm coming in very lightly, and you can see I'm doing one bauble at a time. I know Heidi loves them as well. So I'm coming in with the lighter blue. Now, some of the colours give you more bloom, so you'll get a little bit of bloom coming off your pencil. That's absolutely fine. It's just some colours have more bloom. So you get a little bit of debris coming off there. That's absolutely fine. I'm doing better with them since buying the electric sharpener. Yes, it depends which sharpener you have. I've had quite a bit of success with this sharpener that Catherine recommended. Can't remember. M&R, it's a gold one, but it's been really good. I forgot what it's, is it made in Germany or, but it's been a really good sharpener for me. So I'm going to, oh, thank you, Teresa. So we're going to come in. Now, the idea is that we just have a bit of fun. We relax, we chat with each other. No stress, nobody telling us what we can and can't do. And even if you only take one snippet from the videos, then it's worthwhile, even if you just take one snippet from those videos. Now, on this occasion, I'm doing one bauble at a time. Sometimes I do several. So I do it sometimes in different ways. So I'm coming in and I'm adding a little bit more of that mid colour, which is my China blue. So I'm just adding a little bit more of the China blue and coming in to that previous colour with the China blue. And then I'm going to blend, thank you Diane, indigo blue, China blue and cloud blue. Yes, if you need the numbers, just let me know and I will repeat the numbers. So now just blending with the cloud blue, which is 1023. I normally repeat them twice and then I don't repeat again unless you would like me to repeat. So I'm going to give that a little bit of time to rest, but you can drastically see the difference between these. How to open the battery compartment. That orbit sharpener rings a bell to me. I think I had a problem with one of the compartments. I can't remember now. But you can see the difference. This is very flat and lifeless. The numbers are above if anyone wants to scroll. Thank you, Diane. So I'm going to now colour this one. And to be honest, I am probably colouring a little bit quicker than I would if I was sitting at home in my little craft room on my own with nobody watching. I would probably go even softer with the colouring and really go in very gentle, because it's surprising how many layers you can add if you go in very gently. Helen, ask Heidi about the sharpener. I struggled, but Martin sussed it and it was quite easy. I was pushing the wrong side. I remember those sharpeners. See, we can all recommend the sharpeners. And I know Heidi has some links. I don't know whether she has links for sharpeners, but it's always worth a look. But you know, I always feel quite relaxed when I colour really lightly. If I colour really lightly, I'm even more relaxed than ever when I'm colouring. And I often find the lighter I colour, the lighter layers I colour, the less mistakes I make. So really force yourself to go really light. Now, there are not many more steps to this card, and it's not taken long. And if you think about it, you've got me waffling to you. And if I wasn't waffling to you, it'd even be a short amount of time. But for me, it's important that I'm not just a business. You know, I'm a crafter at heart, and I like to show techniques. And I like to show techniques that I find simple and that work for me. I will link the sharpener on my Sunday live. Thank you, Heidi. So Heidi will be live Sunday the 7th of December. You can also check out Heidi's group, where they post lots of inspiration as well. And the same for Amanda. Amanda has a group for her previous lives, and you can watch those as well for lots of ideas. You're never ever going to be short for ideas with the lot of us. You know, the DT is so keen on making sure that your products don't sit gathering dust on the shelf. Oh, while you listen to Mastermind. Now, can you notice the difference here with this one and these two? These two, I removed the ink before I stamped. This one, I just bleached out the ink. You can see how much whiter it is here. It's a lot more whiter there than it is there, but there's always ways around it, so don't panic. And if something doesn't work for you that I'm doing, maybe you'll find it works a different way, or by using Amanda's method or Heidi's method or Anne's method. It's just you'll pick up a snippet from somebody along the way. So I'm just going to hang my baubles from the sentiments. So I'm just hanging the bauble from the sentiments. I have promised the family homemade cards this year, so loving what you and the team are doing. Wonderful, Trace, that makes us really happy. Now, with these baubles, I haven't pressed too hard, so I could actually go in again. I won't, but when I've finished the live, I will go in again, because watch, if I come in again, it will allow me to even add some more of that pigment. It'll still allow me to come in again, no problem at all, because I've not pressed too hard. But you don't want to watch me anymore, so what I'm going to do, I could win medals for waffling, so could I, Helen. Oh, sometimes the sound doesn't come on even though it's turned up. I heard for some reason, sometimes when I'm on Facebook Live, the sound doesn't come on even though it's turned up. I heard it on Amanda's, but not this one tonight. Sometimes if you go out and come back in, Sue, it works. I don't know what it is with Facebook. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with a little bit of white. Now, the white will just blend out any harsh lines. So I'm just blending out any harsh lines with a little bit of my white pencil, just to blend out any of the harsh lines. Oh, snooker on my TV. Goodness knows what Ian's watching. I have no idea, but it'll be sport of some kind. So just blend out any harsh lines with your white when you've finished. I had that with Amanda's on my tablet, but it's okay now. You can't make it up, can you? You cannot make it up. Right. So what I'm going to do before I add finishing touches, I'm going to add some snow. So let's grab, I've made 60 so far, because I've been stuck in the house the last few weeks. Yes, you have, Leslie. I hope things are improving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive, just to add a little bit of snow just where the feet are. So I'm just adding a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive just to my sentiment here and there as well, just so I can add some texture. This sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a challenge, but I think Tracy is far more helpful. So I'm just going to add some texture on here as well. Now you could use texture paste or your adhesive. It's entirely up to you. Now you could sit a little bird on your bauble as well. So let's add a little bit of texture on the baubles. Just a little bit. So make it a little bit random so it's not too precise. We don't want precise, that doesn't work. There we go. And you can use anything you want. Viewers, that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glitter and mica meant 60 fat fingers. meant 60. So I'm going to use my mica flakes and glitter, and I'm going to pick it up with my finger, just so that it goes exactly where I want that, because I do like a little bit of that snowy feel. Now, you don't have to have the mica flakes. You can have texture paste, anything that you want that you've got in your stash. 300 cards for 2 local animal charities. Bless you, Kay. Bless you. So I'm just adding a little bit of the texture. Higgledy-piggledy, Lynn. Exactly. I'm adding it higgledy-piggledy. You don't want it all uniform, so I'm adding it higgledy-piggledy. Lynn's liking that word. So let's grab a little bit of kitchen towel just to put it on. No, we won't. We'll put it on here. And then we can put it back in our pot. Now, I would recommend that you let this just sit a little bit. Tap it with your finger so it makes good contact with that adhesive. So it makes good contact with the adhesive. Just press it on there. And most of it will come off. So you waste absolutely nothing. So just tap that off. Like so. And then if there's any you don't want anywhere, you can use a fine brush that you frantically look for because you thought you'd put it out. It should be here somewhere. There it is. So you can remove any you don't particularly want anywhere, so that it just sticks to where you want it to stick. And you can see there's quite a bit there that is being put back in the pot. Won't take long to knit Santa underpants. It's very cold in the North Pole. And you say I'm mad. So I can just add that back to my pot. Like so. Hi, Sarah. So you can see it's not a difficult card to make at all. There's nothing difficult there to make at all. But you can still keep tapping and you'll get plenty of glitter off there. So just make sure that you can read your word. There you go. Just make sure you can read that. So then I'm going to take a piece of 4 by 6 inch cards. I've got lots of little pots of mica somewhere. Exactly. Get them out, Helen. Get your mica out and use your mica that you've got that's lying around in a cupboard. And add that to your card. Now we need it, I need it to have a little mat and layer because I do think that will really help. So I'm going to come in now with my prize ribbon. Thank you, Susan, thank you. We haven't finished yet, we've got to add our touches of white. So let's just come in with our prize ribbon. And you can see where I'm holding the blending brush. I'm holding it really low down. And you can see I'm still picking up the ink from the non-stick craft sheet as well. So it just makes it a little bit darker by picking the ink up from the non-stick craft sheet as well. Now, it only takes me an hour because I'm chatting to you along the way. And I'm going to ask another trivia question in a minute because I have to, because I'm super chuffed with my little box. But it's not a design that's overcomplicated. There we go. And then we'll move these out of the way. I'm just going to wipe this up. Now, if you're being frugal, you will use that extra ink. I will when I remember where that particular somewhere is. If you're frugal with your ink, you can mop that ink up with a piece of card and you can create other backgrounds at the same time. So I'm going to add some water just to the outer edges, just because I personally love it when I add the few splatters to the outer edge. It just adds to the whole effect. But with the fan brush, it's just that little bit finer. That's the only reason I use the fan brush. So let's just wipe that up. So we've just got to add a couple of finishing touches. So let's just, so now the edges of that border then are slightly bleached out, and it just adds to that snowy sort of effect. So I'm going to add this to my card. Now don't all disappear, because I'm going to draw a random winner to win a £20. I'll send you a code and you've got £20 to use in the shop. So I'm going to add this. I need a splatter brush, Santa. Oh yeah, you can get proper splatter brushes, can't you? I love my fan brush. So I've added this now to that background, and because it's got those bleached out areas, it really adds to the effect. I think it really adds to that effect. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my bleed proof white, and you'll see lots of us using the bleed proof white because we love it. We all seem to like it very much. So where's my lid? And I'm going to pick up a little bit. Now I can activate the bit that's in the lid as well. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of the white, take off that excess. It does exactly as it says on the tin. And we're going to add this, just bring the white just down here a little bit more, just to add a few little touches of white. And it's just simple ideas that you can have a little bit of fun with. So just add a little bit of white. The white always brings everything to life, and it really helps when you've got bits of glitter added as well. That really helps. So just add a couple of little touches of white because it just brings it to life a little bit. We haven't finished yet. Right. Let's just bring the baubles to life one more time. Thank you, Amanda. It's very kind. So let's get rid of this white. Now you have to remember with the bleed proof white, it is very pigmented. So it takes a few washes of the brush. It stays white, doesn't it, Trudy? It really does. But before you use another colour, remember that that white stays in your brush. So final touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of Inktense Grey, just a touch underneath here, just a little touch underneath there. But so that it isn't too dark a grey, I've put the Salty Ocean on here. Thank you, Anne. I've put the Salty Ocean on here. Take off the excess moisture. Now I've got Salty Ocean on here, and I'm going to blend the grey out with the Salty Ocean, just so it's got that tinge of blue and not too dark grey. Just so it's got a tinge of blue in there. Thank you. So it's just got a little tinge of blue. And then our final touch is to add some splatters, but we don't want to forget this little bit of shading here, which I nearly did. So don't forget that little bit of shading there. Thank you, Carol. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shading, which I should have done in the first place. So I'm just blending it out with a little bit of the Salty Ocean, just so that the grey isn't too grey. Thank you, Anne. There we go, just so it isn't too grey. Then we're going to add our final touch, which is the splatters of white. So we'll add a few splatters Now you can use your bleed proof to add your splatters, because if you use your bleed proof to add your splatters, obviously that won't change colour. I need to watch this again and have a go. Yay, Jackie. I'm going to add this to my 5x7 card blank. Oh, thank you, Fiona. I love the finishing touches. Make sure your card's facing the right way. And what I would do is I'd add just a little bauble on the inside of your card. Add a little bauble on the inside of your card. So I would simply take a 4x6 piece of card and I would add that to the inside with a little bauble. And that is your card finished. I've just bought a 6-foot Christmas tree and is putting it up in the living room at the moment. I said I was, hang on, I have to press see more. I said I was watching you. I'm going to draw a winner, so don't disappear. But just so you can see our card. Nice and easy to do, but very effective. Really effective to do. So I'm just going to draw a winner now, so bear with me. I'm going to ask you another trivia and then I'll draw the winner because I'm loving my little box of trivia. Hang on, I have to read it first. Here's a bit of trivia for you. Oh, I'm not looking at the comments. Here's a bit of trivia for you. Out of the 365 days of a year, on which number day does Christmas Day occur? Oh, thank you, everyone. Sorry, I forgot. Thank you, Avril. So out of the 365 days of a year, on which number day does Christmas Day occur? That definitely confused me, that did. You're very welcome, Trace. Thank you. So there's your trivia. While you're answering that, I'm going to scroll super fast and pick a winner. And the winner is Denise Thompson. So Denise Thompson. That's where my finger landed. Hang on a minute. Denise Thompson. If you message me, Denise, I will give you a code for £20 to spend in my shop. So Denise, if you give me a message on Messenger or however you prefer. I'm now not at the bottom of the messages, am I? Because I've scrolled up. How'd you get that? I didn't get it. 359. How does that work? How does it work as 359? 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 35. I don't get it. Why is it 300? It says 359. I need you to explain it to me. I don't get it. Out of the 365 days of a year, on which number day does Christmas Day occur? Why is it 359? There's 56, how many? 355 days in it. I don't get it. How many is there? 350. I've lost how many days there are in a year now. Why is it 359? 359th day. Oh, well, never mind then. Let me tell the joke. That was lost on me. Why did Santa get a ticket on Christmas Eve? There's 365 days in a year. So why did 360? Oh, minus 6. Yeah. Sorry. I was so slow, Marie. I forgot how many days there were in a year. I forgot how many days there were in a year. Wasted on this thicko here. Right, so I've got to give this joke. I know, but I forgot how many days there were in a year. Yes, I forgot, Diane. I forgot. I'm sorry. Why did Santa get a ticket on Christmas Eve? He left his sleigh on a snow parking zone. Yes, I like that. Why did Santa get a ticket on Christmas Eve? He left his sleigh in a snow parking zone. I think that's a good one. I know, I'm so thick, I forgot the 365 days. I prefer the jokes. The jokes are more my level. Shut up. Oh, I love the jokes better. They make me laugh. I know, but I forgot that there was 365. I got confused thinking it was 355s. I knew, but typed it wrong. I know. Listen, oh, I liked the joke better. I don't do when it's too, you know, if it includes maths, that's not having a laugh, is it? That's maths. But I like that. He left his sleigh in a snow parking zone. I think that's brilliant. More to follow tomorrow. I hope you're excited. More wonderful jokes tomorrow. You know you can't wait. I bet you half the people don't turn up now. So Denise, you need to message me. Marie, you need to message me for your prizes. And ladies, I will see you tomorrow. Now, who is tomorrow? Might be Lucy. Is it Lucy tomorrow? Lucy's got a fabric piece, I think, tomorrow. Stick to the jokes, Tracy. I think I'd better. And this is why Tracy crafts. Exactly, because I can't add up for toffee. See, I told you. So I shall see you all tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And Amanda will see you at 4. And my DT will see you tomorrow at some point. So good night, everybody. I shall see you all tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed the live. So bye, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Bye, everyone. Bye.